Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the counselor's office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, Destiny 2 veteran with 10K hours in just Destiny 2 alone, and I don't know how many thousands of hours in Destiny 1. Here I am with This Week in Destiny to give you my brutally honest thoughts on the Heresy Sandbox changes we should expect February 4th. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to give you my overall opinion on this because some of you just want it right here, right now. I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, and the why. Like WFY, WTF, like why. Funny enough, Bungie, I just want to make it very, Bungie's not doing any favors with this article to avoid the accusation that they cater to streamers because, my God, we'll get to it in a minute. We'll get to it. Just, it's funny. Like, hey, thank you for being honest now, at least. My thoughts. Here's my brutally honest thought. If you're tired of Destiny, this isn't going to bring you back. If you're angry at how Bungie is running things, this is not going to bring you back. If you're tired of the gameplay, this is not going to bring you back. Is this going to make you excited for Heresy? You might have some things you're interested in playing with, but no, this does not excite me at all for Heresy. I'm going to be 100. This seems like a generic mid-season update that they would normally do. Nothing here excites me to the extent like, oh my God, we're really moving the needle. Nothing is absolutely moving the needle. There may be some choice things that really stand out, but overall, you shouldn't see such a dramatic change that you're like, oh, I've got to completely change how I play and all. No, you don't. There is one thing that kind of makes it a little interesting and we have to wait to see, but we'll get there. We're not going to read word for word. I'm going to give you my thoughts and just what it's covering. Heresy live stream. I work when they do it, so I'm just going to review it as, maybe live. I don't know when I get off work, but Heresy Act 1, again, I always suggest everyone calm, set your expectations very low because they're going to make it look really good and sound good. Also, I'm going to be very surprised if they actually answer questions because typically these are just pre-recorded anyways. So if they actually answer real questions from people live, I'm going to be, a little happy. Let's just get to it. We already talked about PvP. Check out the video for that. Content delivery plans for Heresy. That's right. They're going to talk about how they're going to, let's be honest. They said, hey, we heard you. We heard you hate time gating, but we're still going to do it. We knew you didn't like Revenant releasing everything, for Act 1 in the first day instead of 3 weeks. So we're not going to do that, but we're also not going to not time gate things. We're still time gating things. But we're going to release some of the bulk ahead of time and it's going to evolve. I'm just going to say, this is bullshit. We have our thumb up our ass. We refuse to give the community what they want, which is just release everything fucking day one and let us play at the pace that we want. We're still time gating. We're going to make things sound pretty like we give a shit. We don't. So we can move past this. Expect more time gating. It's going to happen until we move into Frontiers where apparently time gating is being removed. So expect more time gating for Heresy. Yay, hurrah. Weapons and armor. Let's just jump into it. Sealed Amakar Grasp. This exotic, you just toss and reload your guns. Wow. Or yeah, you just use it for transitions. Back in the day, this used to be the meta, like Crown of Sorrow. You'd have hunters just blow their load, just throwing knives on the final boss just to finish it. Like, I remember that. What they're doing now is making it I don't know, in what world do you care? But they're making it to where powered melee and finisher blows grant nightmare fuel, which increases handling and airborne effectiveness. I don't care. While active, freshly, that means like think quick draw. You know how quick draw only lasts for a certain amount of time? This will have additional damage for final blows. And that's what matters here. You're thinking, oh, so quick draw, I get bonus damage, but only on final blows. Gain nightmare fuel reloads all holstered weapons. It's stuff like this that doesn't make sense. It's a shitty exotic. You're never going to use this. There are so many other better exotics. Maybe for like solo one mans, maybe for hot swapping reasons. I don't see it. Like, I can see this being used by the solo community for raids. You know, obviously there's a bunch of ads. They quickly get a hit with a kill. They reload their weapons. They hot swap to the rocket. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you, I'm never going to probably use this. Gwen's Vest. Yeah, an exotic we haven't really used since Forsaken, and it was like nerfed to the ground. They're now making it to where progress its super on super hits instead of kills. It's doing both now. And before becoming invisible. Improve the maximum possible super energy gains per return while also increasing the amount of progress needed for maximum gains. Now also emits a cloud weakening. This is kind of nice. I don't ever see me using this. I'm going to be honest. If I'm going to use Void, I'm going to use Tether because I'm helping the team. Which, it doesn't even have to be for damage. You can use the damage Tether. But Tether exists. It is a better crowd control than the shitty ass Blade. I forgot the hell what it's called. Blade Dancer. That's not Blade Dancer. Holy crap. I'm a veteran and I haven't used it for years. Either way, it's such a shitty exotic. Unless it works for other supers, in which case it probably doesn't. It sounds like it works with that one specific one. God, it's going to bother the crap out. Spectral Blades. It's Spectral Blades. It's such a shitty super, like in PvP and PvE, that it's so forgettable. But yeah, I think it's cool, but I mean, Omnioculus exists. Why would I ever take that off? Yeah, I mean, just especially when we're talking about, this is cool and all, but like literally I can just spam Omnioculus and make my team invisible while also weakening enemies. Like, I'm just sorry. It's just not good. Renewal Graphs. This is just a bottom buff. Like, just absolutely buff. Double the rate of frost armor gain. Beautiful. Love it. Bow Tracer. Increase the bonus damage time from 10 seconds to 15 seconds. Wow, we're really moving the needle there, but you know what? Whatever. Radiant Dance Machines. So, essentially, PvP, shout out for you because you're probably going to enjoy this more than most people. Improves airborne effectiveness and hipfire mobility, range, and accuracy for primary ammos. Now, where this is very interesting is Bungie's allowing you to build up multiple dodges. Like, I'm assuming you get to hold them. Multi-kills with primary ammo refunds dodge energy. When dodge is full, which this part is really nice, so you're going to be able to build up your energy pretty quickly. When dodge energy is full, multi-kills grant extra charges. Powerful combatants, guardians count as more. So you're going to be able to hold that, build up your charges, and then you can start using them. That's what I get here. Allow multiple dodges as real purposes for perks and aspects. I mean, I don't know if it has to be, is there a time limit? It doesn't really specify based on what they're saying, but it sounds really good if you can kind of store and hold it, because then you can do, damage rotations with it. You have to work for it, but I mean, it's not that bad. Spear of Galanor, this is talking about the exotic class item. They're reducing the amount Silk Strike and Golden Gun get from the super energy from 50% to 30%. I just want to say that no one's using Golden Gun with Spear of Galanor. No one. Everyone's using literally Celestial Nighthawk. Let's be honest. This is a straight nerf to Silk Strike, which I'll be honest, I don't know how many people are using Silk Strike anymore because Prismatic is so dominant and Golden Gun is like the top tier choice for it. And then Bow Tracer is the Spirit version is gonna get the benefits. Bungie, I'm just gonna say this now. Every time we see Spirit of, assume that Bungie is going to take the changes from the original exotic and put it on a class exotic item in order to help make them better. Though I still think the classics items need help. Some of them are just garbage. Titan. Bungie realizes when they nerf the Titan's ramparts, Go figure, you made it ass in PvE. So now they're going to try to make it viable in PvE, which it should have been from the beginning. So they're removing the cooldowns, the duration it gave for wearing it, and they're increasing the health to 500, but they're making the damage that Guardians do to it to 160%, making it a negative 2.5% less. You're doing a little bit less damage to people who are using Silent Rampants in PvP, so it's not going to make people go nuts and insane about it. But this is a good example of Bungie overcommitting to nerfs and making exotics useless. And then years to months later, mostly years, they decide, you know what, we should probably not do that, because if we kill the reason to use an exotic, fucking no one uses it. Go fucking figure, Bungie. Eternal Warrior. They're throwing back to the old days. We're getting kills, getting some nostalgia where kills extend the super duration to Eternal Warrior. So it's getting the benefits. I think that's cool. I don't know if I will care enough to continue using it, like, ever. Maybe someone tell me if it's worth using. I just don't see me ever using Arc only Fist of Havoc's Titan when the Titan kit, Prismatic, and Strand is still very good. Like, Banner of War is still god tier. I don't think I would care enough to use Fist of Havoc. Like, Arc still needs help, in my opinion, especially Titan. Ursa Furiosa. They're making it to where instead of getting super energy, you now with Unbreakable, those are two different things. Now, by the way, they are so desperate to get you to use this like Unbreakable for Ursa Furiosa combo. Like, they're like, yeah, we kind of missed the mark. No fucking way. Who'd have thought that? You've been like nerfing everything about Titan and buffing one specific thing and no one fucking wants to use it. But they're making it to where instead of super energy, using Unbreakable now returns grenade energy, which allows you to use it more often. I think that's a good change. Who'd have thought? Being able to get grenade energy to use the blocking mechanic. Who would have thought? Also, it's scaled based on the amount of damage you block with it. So that's kind of like a throwback to the, I hope it's like OG GM where you block with that sucker. Not like Unbreakable, but like the OG Ursa Furiosa build where you would use banner and block and get your, like, produce a bunch of orbs and you get some super energy back. Like, I hope so. It'd be cool. Khepri's Horn. They're changing this thing up. I still don't think it will be used, in my honest opinion. They're making it to where instead of having one wave of fire, you now get 3. So instead, I'm assuming it's going to be like a mini Dead Messenger solar version. Cool. It also doesn't bounce back. So no Iron Banner cheeses where we're bouncing the fire back and forth to score. The fact that was a thing is crazy. Also, it requires solar to equip. So I'm going to say it right now. No one's going to fucking use this. Insurmountable Skull Fort. Finally, they addressed the fact that this thing sucks ass in endgame. It sucks. So now you're going to get energy based even on melee hits, based on what kind of melee it is. Least from the most to least powered melee, non-glaive, unpowered, while knocked up is active, and unpowered melees, including glaives. So these are all your ways of getting energy, but the most is powered melee. You're going to get the most energy for a power melee hit or kill. Stoicism. Again, everything being inherited. If you like Titan, you can inherit all these. Warlock. You're getting a nerf and a buff. Stormbracer's Dance is getting nerfed and how much energy you get back, the 30%. But I think this is probably one of the best things for Warlock, even though I still am not wanting to swap off of Warlock like to Arc when Prismatic is still good, and even Solar alone is still really good. Blinking is now reduced by 50% when you're wearing this thing. And Blink, if you know what Blink is, it uses so much super energy to blink, but it's really nice. They're also doubling the damage benefit from 10% to 20% per stack. So this thing's going to do a lot of damage per kill. So this thing might be really good for ad clear. We'll have to wait and see. It's funny. I'm more excited about the blink reduction because you were able to blink around trash ads. Especially, that's one of the things about Warlock roaming is like you take everything in, where now you can kind of blink around and not die and maybe in a Grandmaster. We'll see. Geomags, they realized, hey, this thing's kind of shit. Imagine when you nerf the main selling point of an exotic, people stop using it. So to keep it from being broken in PvP, but giving it back some of its functionality that it had in PvE, or going back where you can top off your super now, but only if you have bolt charges. If you have up to like 7, six stacks of bolt charge, it will top off your energy. Re-enable the effects, increase super gain from iconic traces from 7% from 2%. So you're getting a lot of super energy from Geomags now. Neat. It might see use. Maybe Chaos Reach is back. I don't know. You're asking a lot. I don't think it is, except for maybe Grandmasters where you can cancel. But I feel like for damage, like raids and day ones, you're probably not. Seeking Filaments and Spirit of Filaments. Now gives class energy per kill while Devour is active. Yeah, I mean, you're asking people to use an Empowering and having Devour. You're asking for all these things to activate to get the advantage of being able to stun overloads. By the way, I completely forgot that this existed. But yeah, you're just sitting in like in an Empower Rift. You're doing damage and you're stunning champions with any gun. Like it gives overload to any gun, which is just, I wish we had more exotics like this. But now you can chain it when you get kills with Devour. Neat. Speaker is getting a nerf. It's just an absolute nerf. They don't like that you're activating, you're getting benefits to your energy by healing teammates that are not able to be healed. So you're not going to be able to do that no more. You're not going to be able to get your energy back unless you're actually healing something. So Speaker side kind of just getting nerfed. I still think it's going to be good for the utility of the fact that you're healing people. Yeah, but it's a nerf. There's no benefits. Verity's Brow. They're now giving it the time treatment instead of it just disappearing and saying, ha, fuck you. Now it's going to give you a countdown from the stacks so you can maybe keep some of it up. Yay. Exotic class items shared. Verity is going to now get a bonus grenade recharge rate, but it provides 50% of that base exotic. So Verity's was all right, but now it's going to get even better for Warlocks. Again, I just want to say when it comes to exotics, like armor, nothing here moves the needle. Nothing here excites me. Nothing. Not a damn thing, except maybe for damage rotations, dance machines. But let's be honest, nothing here is exciting. Nothing. Maybe Titans will enjoy this. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. This is what I want to be brutally honest with you. There's nothing exciting here. Weapons. They're helping controllers. That's right. Both in like PvE and PvP. When you're using a controller and you're aiming down sight and then a target jumps or moves near you and you're aiming at it and then it follows another target and you're like, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, they're gonna fix that. So cheers if it's fixed. They're doing damage tuning. I'm just gonna tell you right now. Scouts, 18% to minors, 30% to majors. Is this going to be enough to make you want to pull out your hung jury? I mean, maybe. I mean, majors is a big thing because that's usually what takes the most to kill is a freaking major in a Grandmaster and like master mode content. But I don't know. It's one of those things. It's a benefit. Absolutely, we take buffs. Especially any damage buff to scout rifles is a good buff. We take it. Auto rifles, 10%. I don't know if how much. This is where I want to talk about this. No one gives a fuck. 5% against minors is going to do shit all in end game, like master and grandmaster content. I am not going to use an SMG because it shoots nerf bullets. A 5% is going to do shit all. Now for base raids, SMGs probably going to feel pretty good. Trace rifles. I'm not a trace rifle guy. Trace rifles have only ever been used for utility or for like meme stuff. I'm not excited. Don't care. Linear fusion rifles. This excites me. Seniors have struggled desperately to compete. Even when people thought they were only meta because they were easy to use. Now they're going to do 10% more damage. I'm actually excited. We might have some competition in the grenade launcher slot. We will find out. I will let the damage nerds decide that. Glaives. They're giving glaives an entire suite of buffs to make you want to use them. Is this really going to change the needle? I don't think so. I think if you love glaives, the reload, the projectile, the magazine, and handling size, you're going to love it. Finally, final hit of the melee combo deals double damage. I don't know what that does. We'll see. But do I think that this is going to make Blaze meta? No. Aggressive frame fusion rifles. You know, the one that we've had since Beyond Light that has since been ignored. Corlassus Force or Coras Force. Yeah, they're going to have one in Heresy. So expect one of the seasonal weapons to also have it. By the way, where's my music? Oh. I don't want you. You're not my real mom. All right, aggressive frame fusions now fire 3 bursts of 4 pellets, increasingly widespread. That makes me wonder if it's like, it sounds like it's going to be full auto. We'll have to see. I want to see what this looks like. But they're trying to make it more competitive with other fusion rifles. So the damage range is increased, the fall off is increased, and the damage it does to miners is increased by 15%. To keep it, I don't know how this is going to do. If it has, like, it seems like this is meant to be more of like an ad clear weapon. And I'm going to tell you right now, no one's using fusions for ad clear, just like shotguns. I don't think it's going to be your competitive fusion rifle. Like, yeah, it's just not going to happen. Support frames. They're doing like a change to it. It's not necessarily a nerf. It's more of like, we're changing how we treat the tracking of the healing bullets. So essentially what's going to happen is range is now really, really important for this specific auto rifle, because the longer your range, the farther you can shoot and track your bullets to either kill things or heal them. Essentially, no hesitation isn't going to change, but the mods and stuff that you equip will increase it and change it. They're doing this so that future support frames, which i.e. Heresy is going to introduce another support frame, you can expect that range is going to matter on it. Rocket assisted frame sidearms. We knew this was going to happen. It's a nerf. But it's also a slight buff, but it's a nerf. They're nerfing the detonation damage, which means you can't, you cannot no longer shoot into a group of ads and they all die. They don't want you to be able to shoot a bunch of group of ads, kill them, and then shoot a major and then shoot a boss. They don't like it being able to fit multiple roles, even though they're trying to make shotguns do that with like ad clear and boss damage. Like, just get the fuck out of here, Bungie. But they're drastically reducing the detonation damage, but they're increasing the PvE impact damage by 100%. So that means whenever you hit something directly, it's going to do a lot more damage, which is all right. And they're not changing Buried Bloodline. Reduce damage by bosses, vehicles by 30%. Yeah, they don't want you using it. They want you to use it for just trash ads, I guess, but not and chip damage to bosses. They're gonna feel a lot worse. Essentially, they're gonna feel a lot worse against your yellow bars. Exotic weapon, which we knew something was gonna happen. They're the best in slot. Like, it's bullshit, but you gotta know what's gonna happen. By the way, this does nothing to excite me. All the things that they're doing to buff, this is like such a impactful part of the meta right now that nothing excites me the way that sidearms do. Exotics, Orange Driver, again, PvP bitched, and so it got nerfed to the ground. Bungie's trying to make you give a shit about it. So now, across the board, getting a kill after the bounty tag will give you 1 ammo, triggering the ability of the stupid. Let's be honest. triggering it, you're going to get your 6 ammo, and you're going to be able to keep chaining it, or keep like with ammo when it's active. No one's going to use this. Maybe for PvP, but PvE, I don't. Yes, ammo is nice, but ammo generation is not that hard. If you have a good build, it's really not that hard. I'm just sorry. Nothing says, man. And if I'm going to use any kind of linear fusion rifle, I'm going to use Arbalest for the anti-champion capability. Delicate Tomb sucks ass. So they're trying to make it better by making ionic traces happen more. 10%. PvE damage in the cascade shot from 30% to 100%. Remove the time from Tempest Cascade. Last until fired. I still don't think it's going to be good. Darcy. This is probably the only change that's going to get people excited because people have been asking for years. And Bungie has decided to turn Darcy into Gallahorn. That's essentially what's happening here. Darcy is now Gallahorn. It now gives bonus damage to non-exotic snipers. However, it doesn't tell me how much, it doesn't say how much damage, but it does give itself 15% damage after granting 5 stacks, like the stacks to your teammates. I don't know. I'm not going to get excited until we know how much 5 stacks give the entire team. Are we in a sniper meta? I don't know. If you have supremacy, guess what? You're about to reign supreme. Edge of action. These are the exotic glaives. I'm going to tell you right now, my brutally honest take. They're all ass except for maybe Edge of Intent, because now you get incandescent, which is neat. And it cures you on the pulse, added cure pulse to special shot impact. So hitting something, you're going to get activate cure. So for survivability, Intent, Warlocks, you might be eating good. No one cares about jolting feedback on a fucking exotic glaive. Maybe on the base legendary. No one gives a fuck about this. Edge of action, destabilize rounds, same thing. It's whatever. It's shit. Centrifuge sucks ass. They're increasing the mag to 45. I would just rather have Zealous Supercell and call it a day. It's the worst version of Solid Supercell. Here's something. This is where Bungie decides, hey, we're going to listen to content creator and streamers because we're giving a small bump stat to Borealis, and some high skill PvP players have taken a liking to its current stat offering. Some. Oh man, I wonder who could it be? Who's gonna say that they want this? Man, I can't believe that they did this. Who's gonna want this? I wonder. Ooh. Yep. Some. Like, it's funny. So they're increasing the stats of Borealis. It's kind of funny. Let's just look at it. So they're changing fundamentals. They're removing a lot of the bonuses and baking it into the guns. The new effect is now 30% damage buff in PvP, 10%. And to this weapon for 10 seconds when you apply or receive an elemental keyword that matches the current selected damage type of this weapon. Outside of Dead Messenger, which I still don't think will be good, no one's going to give a crap. Hard Light, Borealis, 30%. Wow, I can get that by activating a kill perk, like Killing Tally or something, like, which is not obviously on any of these. But you get what I mean. Like, we have so many damage perks out there that I am not impressed with this. But shout out to the 2 streamers out there using Borealis. You guys are gonna do awesome jobs, I guess, sniping. Pop-off kings. Yeah. That's not like no one gives a shit. Telesto, they're memeing again. I'm just gonna tell you right now. The Catalyst, they're adding a Catalyst, which is cool. After 3 activations of Harbinger Pulse, special reload the weapon to cause a rain of Telesto projectiles on your next direct hit. I don't think it's made for PvP again, but for PvE, I just don't see me. Like, why would I ever care about this when there are legendary versions are better than this? Listen, I'm a veteran who literally plays endgame, and I'm telling you what. Can you use these for fun? Sure. but my vault is almost completely full with all the fun guns I can get. Vex Caliber. This actually seems very interesting. I did not realize it did bonus damage to Vex. Why is it a secret? Because they even mentioned the fact that it's 25% extra damage, like Wish Ender or Malfeasance. Why the fuck was that not like, they tell you that it does bonus damage? Why is that not a thing explained? But essentially they're changing it up. Now also fills the glaive energy to full when you trigger Perpetual Loophole. Slightly increased overshield trickle on rate to nearby allies and yourself when guarding. And now briefly disorients non-boss. I think that's pretty good. That means you can punch something and you can essentially disorient them or blind them. Wardcliff now gives you a stack of bolt charge to all nearby allies for every 2 rockets fired. 4 stacks per trigger pull. So you get 4. Wow. They're really changing the bank on Wardcliff, man. I can't wait for that one boss that's counted as a vehicle when I can pull out Wardcliff and get 4 stacks of bolt charge. I'm so excited. Wow. Queensbreaker actually getting a sizable buff. We'll be honest here. I'm with the 10% to linear fusions. I'm actually very interested in this. You're going to be able to hot swap between by clicking a button instead of having to change your scope. And by default, whatever scope you have on Queensbreaker is what's going to start with. Marksman. The chain of the range now is 10 meters. The combat sight now alters the weapon fire rate to a 3-round burst, and sustained damage on the target decreases the charge time of the weapon down to 300 with no loss to damage. Useful for quick. Holy crap. Queensbreaker is about to be nasty. This is the only thing that I am excited for. This plus 10% damage buff. Oh, holy crap. It's Queensbreaker's time. Colony is a meme. No one cares. I'm gonna be honest. No one gives a shit. Bungie realized we nerfed Quicksilver Storm to the ground like a bunch of jackasses. We're reducing the amount of time, like shots it takes to trigger a rocket to 17%. Wow, imagine that. Legend of Acreus is all right. It's still very niche. They're trying to make it not a niche. It's still a niche. Reduce the spread by 33%, and now you can shoot from 18 meters. I still think it's going to be very nichey, but it's going to be a lot more viable in more situations than it already is. Fourth Horseman, they're reducing the shot rate so you can control it more. I think that's great. Always liked it. I just hated that you have to barrel stuff a target, which is great for like certain damage rotations. Loads ammo from reserves to the magazine per kill, which is, I'm not using this for ad clear. Lord of Wolves. Again, they realized we done fucked up. All these exotics we nerfed to the ground, no one used. We're trying to save them. They're giving it the Choir 1 treatment, where you alternate from hip firing and aiming down sight. They're increasing the range, reduce the base damage, which makes me feel bad. Remove accuracy penalty from standard fire mode, so you're not going to have that accuracy penalty. Release of Wolves now triggers on hip fire instead of special reload. Thank God. Full auto greatly increases damage and rate of fire. So you hit fire, you're going to do a shit ton of damage, hopefully. Also, with the catalyst, you're going to be able to, when the Release of Wolves activates, you're going to scorch targets, and when you aim down sight, you're going to be able to spread scorch to nearby combatants. Holy crap. This is maybe the only shotgun that I may say might be usable in Grandmasters. I'm actually slightly excited. Cloud Strike, they're giving it bolt charge. That's it. That's all they're doing. They're giving it bolt charge ability. Thunderlord, same thing, bolt charge. Nothing else is changing. Now we're talking about the perks. Granted, I want to say overall, there's 2 weapons on this list that excite me, and then they're fixing a bunch of other shitty mistakes that they did. But nothing outside of the 2 weapons I just not Cloud Strike. Wow, no. Outside of Queensbreaker and Lord of Wolves, I don't give a shit about half of these weapons. They're just whatever. But let's talk about perks. Destabilizing rounds. they're finally realizing that bolt shot, the feedback, bolting feedback, or jolting feedback, and are like the best perks in the game, and disabling rounds having a internal cooldown was stupid as hell. So it's going to 1.5 seconds. And it also grants volatile rounds for 2 seconds if you hit a target nearby. Like if you hit a target, it'll hold it and you can, you know, keep chaining it, hopefully. Full court now is being scaled to aerial denial grenade frames based on the detonation and the burn damage, which I think if it does scale pretty nicely, I think this will be the way to make aerial denial grenade launchers better. I think they're mid right now. The only reason they're good is for 2 reasons: the artifact mod and for the fact that there's the orb printing machine. Now, if they don't ever nerf which they're not saying anything about nerfing it, I may have to go farm for them for the dungeon next episode. If they get a new one, which they probably will, with full court, it's going to do some decent damage. Like Ambitious Assassin, they're removing the multi-kill and reload timers, which is stupid. They should have never existed. Flash counter, reworked to read taking damage after guarding emits a disorienting blast. No longer requires a timed input. Like, and again, so this tells you they're adding a new sword to the season. They're adding a new denial frame. They're adding another void weapon for destabilizing rounds. You can absolutely read these patch notes and know exactly what's going to come out. Draw, oh coward. Our PvP focused article focused on trials. They're talking about Nightfalls. Here we go. This is the PvE aspect. This is what you can expect. We're getting a void assisted sidearm. I want to know what redacted is, but I'm telling you right now, this thing is ass. It is fucking ass compared to a born action and in-depth kindness. Incandescent volt shot. Like, why does this not? It doesn't even have destabilizing rounds on it. Why the fuck does the void sidearm not have destabilizing rounds? Why? Dog shit. I already could care less about this. Palindrome. Oh God. They really didn't do a whole lot of justice for it in PvP compared to Exalted Truth, and I knew that was probably what's going to happen. However, for PvE, I am excited. People are sleeping on it. Closing time for PvP, all right. Magnificent Howl is ass. But what people are sleeping on is the fact that it's getting Master of fucking Arms with explosive payload. Plus, there's 2 redacteds we don't know. But, like, holy crap. 25% damage for just getting a kill and explosive payload, like double damage perks. Oh! People sleep on it. Recluse is nasty. It's just an SMG. That's the problem. But on a 140 and it's an adaptive and they feel really good. Explosive with Master of Arms. Come to daddy. I'm excited. Plus, we don't know where the redacted are. Maybe they'll be good. I don't know. Cynosure Strand Aggressive Rocket Launcher. I think it's fucking funny. On my review, I make fun of casual players who only want to do raid clears as ad clear, doing ad clear with a rocket launcher. Rejoice. Where is it? Is it not on here? Wait, I swear I thought it was on here. Did they edit this recently? Oh, no shot. They released. I swear I thought it said Encore on it. No shot. They removed it? Okay, maybe. Okay, no Encore. I swear I saw Encore. Never mind. Never mind. Discount everything I said. By the way, Sympathetic Arsenal's back. That's funny. Strand, I mean, it has explosive light and bipod with clown cartridge. It's not the most meta rocket. Maybe this will be a good perk. I'm not excited for it. Gambit, you're getting Backfang. It's an arc rapid fire glaive. I'm not a glaive guy, so it's just whatever. Crucible, We already know about Crucible. We talked about it yesterday. What's leaving? Undercurrent. The Prophet. No one gives a crap about these. Reese Walker. No one gives a crap about it. Lethal Abundance. I actually really do like it. Get it. And that's it. That's my honest, brutally honest thoughts on it. I think this is very mid. There's a couple of obviously really good, but there's nothing here that excites me. I am not actively excited for Heresy right now, except for maybe Trials. I never thought I would say that. But nothing moves the needle. Nothing at all is like, oh, wow, man, 10 out of 10. This is just the game saved. I'm coming back to Destiny. I'm ready to suck Bungie's cock. I'm so good. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's some, like, it's just, I'm just, There's so many other exotics that need buff. And there's some of the buffs that they did were so mediocre. It's like, we're barely turning the dial. That's my brutally honest thoughts. Let me know what you think down below. Is there anything you're excited for? Until next time, hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe to the channel for more. Until next, yeah, whatever. I'm gurgling now. Game out. Huzzah!